Hello beautiful beings, and welcome back to the realm of inspiration. Today's video, you probably know what it is before I do in this moment, because I really don't know what I'm channeling. I have had a very scheduled structure when it comes to what channelings I am doing. I've had them planned and mapped out for the entire year. And I really, there was the test of free will that we were experiencing, and starting in October, obviously things changed, and I was told from beforehand that maybe things will change for my schedule of channeling during the month of October, and moving forward throughout the rest of this solar year. And I didn't quite understand what that would mean, but what that meant is me feeling very uninspired and unmotivated to channel via my schedule. So today's video was originally going to be connecting to the air element and the hawks. I don't know when exactly I am going to do that channeling. That is the last one for the animal connections to the elements, which I was so inspired and so excited to do those videos. I just, right now, I'm not feeling it. And I try to do every now and again doing meditative meetings with the elders of the Elfian Realm. Obviously, if you have read my first channel text, you would know who they are, because they come through. And it was when I was connecting to this guy right here, connecting to the Joybringer domain, that I realized, I need to be human. I need to be human. For me to be able to channel, I have to be human too. So I can humanly admit that so many things have gone on in my life in this last year, and by the time this video comes out, this will be coming out around my human birthday, and right before the 11/11 live channeling, so stay tuned for that, because the 11/11 live channeling is coming soon, and I haven't quite decided where I am doing that. I want to maybe go to an archaeological site here in Greece. I want to go to a portal, maybe Delphi, maybe Elefsina. I haven't decided yet, but I am between those two to do the live there, and we're gonna find out, so obviously stay tuned for that. But I really feel like I need to be human and humanly admit I need to do a type of channeling I have not done in a really long time, which is just, what do we need to hear? What, going back to the basics, what's coming through. I have felt myself in a bit of a funk, truthfully. Channeling is a flow, and you have to allow it to flow, and sometimes it's going to move in different ways, and it's important to allow it to do so. I felt in a funk because I have been writing and channeling and doing a million things, and doing promotions for the courses on my website, and doing so much, and really having, honestly, very little coming back to me. And that can put you in a funk. Now, when I was younger and I started this journey, so when did I publish this book? In 2022? 2022? Yeah, 2022. And before that point, I was also doing things to 2021. Now it's 2025. I mean, 4 years of my life, 5, because I started the healing work in 2020. When I was younger, it was definitely easier to sit down and do videos and do things and not really think about the energy I'm getting back, because it was very fulfilling to do that. And I will be honest, I do love channeling and I adore it, and I prefer working with clients. I really do love working with clients when I have them. It's just that channeling in the way that I was doing it this last year, just because I knew I was following how I was supposed to do it. So I was given, these are the channelings you have to do, the understanding power of color, the things that don't change no matter what the energy is. And doing that for almost an entire year, it started to become very draining. Which is why we're doing the video as we're doing it today, because I need a little refresh before I go back to those scheduled ones. Obviously, right before the end for 2, because I have one more flower one to do on my list. Obviously, the air element and the hawks. I also have serenity and connecting to serenity, the frequency of serenity with jasmine flower, and then I have lots of colors to do as well. But I need a little break, so I truly feel like for the month of November until the end of the month, I will probably just be a little bit more what's coming through. Because I also feel like with now that we're out of the big test of free will, now that I was, told from the beginning, that there will be more specific messages to what is going on in the collective now. So that's what we're doing. And I feel something with like maybe burnout or getting out of a funk or something like that. Because that's how I am feeling. I am feeling the Elfian healer, but also Elfian healer domain. But also I am feeling divine justice, because I also do feel this like collective rage that we need to really understand what's going on. Because I mean, not just in my life, in the world, so much has happened. I feel so drained. I'm gonna be very, very honest. I'm feeling things, sensing things from the collective. I feel it. I feel the pain. I feel the rage. I feel the calling for justice. And as a communicator, as a channeler, as someone who works with the expression of authenticity and communicating truth, seeing a lot of voices silenced, it's like I feel that. So I also feel like we need some guidance with empathic abilities. How can we honor our voice? There is a lot of pain in the earth. Like I feel that too, and I've tapped into those things. Obviously, when I do the like autumn equinox, Elfian New Year of Abundance, these things where it's like in the current energy, I'm obviously picking up on this stuff, but I haven't allowed myself to fully acknowledge what I was feeling, due to the fact that I was in such a structured schedule, and while that works, sometimes it needs to collapse, and you need to start fresh to refuel inspiration. The Elfian Realm always tells me as soon as I stop feeling inspiration, I need to reevaluate what I'm doing, because I cannot channel the beings of inspiration if I don't feel inspired myself. So that being said, I don't know what the collective needs to know right now. So I'm going to go back to how I started doing things in the fairs, which is, what do we need to know? Whoever wants to come through. And I open the book. Let's see. Interesting. Why the creator created the Elfian Realm is the page I opened to the cosmic Elfian Elemental. I think I need to read this paragraph, which there's a lot in this page I could read. But I'm going to read this paragraph. By this point, you know a lot about the Elfian Realm, but what you may not realize is precisely why the creator created us. So this is channeled from the cosmic Elfian Elemental Elder, or the last Elfian cosmic guardian, as he's also referred to as. It started with the cosmic elements. When the creator brought those energies into the universe, he used them to create life to live as them and in them. Then slowly the universe started to build, and beings of all different ways of existing started to create a home. The flower of inspiration was something that the creator made to help inspire all the new souls, inspire them to find solutions for things, and to want a purpose. The creator soon realized that the eternal flower could only offer aid if beings were in close proximity to it. The flower needed beings of it to spread it across the vast universe. This is when we were created. The creator created the Yagama source, our source. After some time, we helped from the flower. Our source made us. This was all to aid in the spread of inspiration. As time went on, our purposes as a realm shifted. It became more than just the eternal loving flower of inspiration's native ambers. It was to guide, teach, heal, and watch over. The Creator told our source to make more yagamas to match the needs of our universe. As our source did, the small group of us turned into a realm. That realm needed a name, so we as a group decided to be referred to as the Elfian Realm. I think I needed to read that today. I channeled this in 2021. I published it in 2022. I was 18. By the time this video comes out, I will be pretty much 22. So that's a long time. I'm going to channel the Elfian Source. Because I think as the communicator of this realm, maybe along the way, with all the channeling that I was doing, I kind of lost sight of the inspiration of it all. Getting trapped in a routine. I want to read something else from this book. Another little quote. Our source tells every new soul something I think you all should hear. From the same section, the next page. Earth is relatively new in our system, and this is because eons ago, when it was just a small group of beings, there was no negative polarity. It was like a snap of a finger when the negative polarity came into the picture. But before that, everything was in bliss. And the Creator knew that one day the negative polarity would enter our system, so he felt the need to prepare the beings. He knew that the best way to do this was to inspire them. He saw that the tree of life created life, and that other infinite plantations created beings of them that spread the plantation's purpose. So he created something new, the flower of inspiration. That is what we are made of. He pulled me, the Yagama Source, this is quoted from the source. He pulled me, the Yagama Source, out from its center and told me to create beings of the flower. So I did, and I continue to do so. When the negative polarity reached our system and Earth was created, all the souls felt inspiration. When the time was right, they entered the physical for the first time. Their history is not our story to tell, but our history is, and we are inspiration. It is in us and of us. We protect and spread it in the same way humans do with life. Inspiration is our creation. Now something makes sense? Because all I heard this morning was that you need to remember you are a being of life, and in order to do what you're here to do, you must remember you're a being of life. How do we remember that? How do we see that as a gift? What are the messages for the beings of life from the beings of inspiration that we need to know at this time? So, you're safe or protected. Nothing and no one can access me nor my energy without my permission. I am surrounded by divine light and love. God protects, God watches over. Gaia anchors, Gaia grounds. Archangel Michael protects. Archangel Uriel brings strength. Archangel Gabriel brings clarity of mind. Archangel Raphael heals. Archangel Metatron protects lightworker abilities. Archangel Sandalphone brings stability. Archangel Chamuel brings cosmic heart love. Archangels Raguel, Zadkiel, and Daniel bring divine karmic justice. Jesus Christ brings forth the golden Christed light. Our Elfian traveler guides ensure that everything that we are doing is for the betterment of our ascension. May all higher lights light the path before us. And today I will be channeling the Elfian Yagama Source, the source of the Elfian Realm, to not only help me as the communicator of this realm, but to help all of us as humans understand what it means to be a being of light, so that we can truly fulfill our missions and purpose, and so that we can get out of any funks that we're in and remember the true reason we are here. And if anything, to bring hope in these times when things seem so messy and so uncertain, because there is a bigger picture that we do not understand. So help inspire us to understand. Divine Masculine, Elfian Source. When I have safely stepped back, you may step forth. Hello, beautiful beings. It has been a long time since I have conversed with you directly. I am the Elfian Source, the Divine Masculine Source of the Elfian Realm. Ooh, and there is some disbalance in the communicator's throat chakra. Let's pop that into place. It is time to remember. A quest for remembering. If you have Himalayan salt rock at your disposal, I encourage you to grab it in this moment, because we are going to set a purified intention together. Grab any Himalayan salt, even if you just pour Himalayan salt in your hand, or if you have a rock, that would be great. Stretch out your legs and your arms. Ground yourself fully to the ground. As much of you, if you can even just lay on the ground, but we won't do it for the communicator because need to hear what I am saying, but if you could even just lay on the ground, as much of you on the ground as possible, to ground and root. Take your Himalayan salt, place it by your heart. Take a few deep breaths, humans. There is no perfect number of breaths. There's no perfect number of anything. There is only what resonates with you, what you need. Repeat after me. I am purified of all blockages. I am purified of all blockages. I am purified of all blockages. I have unlimited potential within me. I have unlimited potential within me. I have unlimited potential within me. I am clearing the way so that my mind may be open to the messages for my highest good. I'm clearing the way so my mind might be open to the messages for my highest good. I'm clearing the way so my mind may be open to the messages for my highest good. Anything that no longer resonates with me, I remove and banish and cleanse with the violet flame and the flame of truth, to be reconstituted into something new. And I ask for the source, your source of life, to give you back your original excellence. And remember your why. And I, as the Elfian Source, am here to inspire you to complete your how. The why and the how. The why and the how. The why and the how. Sit up straight, sit up tall. Anchor yourself to the earth. And let go of all things that prevent you from connecting to your source above. Alright, humans, here is what you must know in this space and time. You are beings of life. So we say that a lot. What does that mean? Being a being of life means that you have the ability to create vastness. You have the ability to manifest. You carry the divine masculine and feminine within you in perfect harmony, the intuition and the logic, the creativity and the creation. You carry it all within your heart, within your being, within your soul, within your mind. You carry it all within you. What does that mean? You have the ability to experience life, and you are protectors of life, and you are protected by the guardian of life from the heavens above. The earth and its breath, the animals and their song, and the humans and their connections. You are governor of all. And the most thing that you carry dominion over is yourself. Yourself. Your minds are stressing with everything going on in the human reality, but did you ever stop to think that is the ego and the lower self preventing you from allowing the highest self to guide you? Because if you allow the highest self to guide you, then the things going on in the 3D matrix do not limit your potential. But right now, you might feel limited by what's going on around you, thinking, how could I possibly have the authority and the ability to do what I do? How could I possibly have the ability and authority to do what I do? How could I possibly be living and enjoying my life when everything else in the world is collapsing? If you are only following the ego's lapse of judgment, controlling you from being able to make differences in your reality because you think that you are not able to, then you will never allow your higher self to integrate within you, and you will not be your authenticity. This is important to know. If you are getting too lost in watching the way that the world is falling apart instead of seeing the way that you can help piece the world back together, then you will never understand what it means to be a being of life. Human beings, if you are too focused on how the world is falling apart, then you are manifesting it falling apart quicker. If you are feeding into the narrative of everything dissolving, everything falling apart, everything turning to madness and chaos and war and fascism and tyranny, if you are paying too much attention to the way that that is spinning in the world, then you are manifesting that to happen, and that is what the negative polarity wants you to do. The negative polarity knows that if enough people are focused on creating the negative outcomes or fear of the negative outcomes, if enough people are afraid of the negative outcomes, and the negative outcomes will happen because fear manifests. Because fear is the lower self of the human being. And the human being is the manifester of the universe. You must shift your perspective. You see war. Think of how you can bring peace instead of fearing the war reaching you. You see fascism. See how you can bring about pure democracy instead of fearing what will happen when fascism takes over. You see tyranny. Instead of fearing it, controlling you, see how you can prevent it from happening. By taking positive, inspired actions. All of you humans, whether light worker or not, all of you are susceptible to this feeling, and our communicator feels it, and that's why I am coming through to communicate, and no other elf in my realm is. Me as the source of inspiration, because it is affecting everyone, no matter what anybody says. This negative energy, this negative entity in the earth that is preventing you from seeing how your positive potential can help erase the negative influences on the earth. Because if you are afraid in any way and you feed into it in any way, it grows and it expands. It's a parasite. The negative polarity is a parasite, and the positive polarity is the cure. The lower self is the parasite, the higher self is the doctor. And the breath of the soul and the divine is the medicine, is the cure. We watch our communicator do it. We watch humans do it on all levels, seeing things happening and being afraid of them so much that they continue to expand. The universe does not hear that you're afraid of something and doesn't do it. The universe hears what you are focusing on. If you're saying you don't want the fall of democracy, if you're saying you don't want war, if you're saying you don't want to lose your rights, and you are focusing so much on that fear, suddenly the don't disappears. and what you are afraid of comes true. You are all the magician in the tarot. You have all the tools in your disposal. But when you use them from a place of fear, you create what you fear, and then you wonder why the world is falling apart. Animals cannot manifest. Trees cannot manifest. Higher beings, we cannot manifest. The divine cannot manifest. We create. I'm source. I create. But a creator and a manifester are two different things. The only beings in the universe that have the ability to manifest are humans, because you are beings of life, and that is your gift. That is your power. Your power is your empathy. Your power is your manifestating abilities. Your power is your voice. Your power is your actions. Your power is your innovation and your ideas. Your power is how you listen to inspiration, how you follow the divine, how you communicate truth, how you spread knowledge, how you feel hope. Your power is in everything, because you are in everything. You are life. You are the divine love and light manifesting in life. You are beings of life. You are the breath of life. And therefore, whether you are afraid or hopeful, whatever that feeling is, you are manifesting it with your thoughts, and you don't understand that your thoughts and your perspective and your mindset determines your reality. But right now, even those with the most positive mindsets are being influenced by the negative things in the reality of the world, because so many people are afraid of them, that even those who believe that they have overcome fear are feeling it. Those who feel that they have overcome anger are feeling it. And what does that mean? That means that the earth is nowhere near the next golden age. So whatever false communicators, and we've had our communicator channel this 1,000,000 times, whatever false communicators said that the new golden age is right around the corner are wrong. They are wrong. They have been wrong. It's a lie. The new golden age is not around the corner. Humans is going to take at least another 10 human years. At minimum, to be close, because what is happening now is proof of that. Is the fear-mongering, the capitalistic perspective on spirituality. It happened to our communicator, where she was told if she did not subscribe to the business capitalistic aspect of being a channeler, of doing light work, if she didn't turn it into a business, then she shouldn't be doing what she's doing. That is capitalism. That is greed. That is one of the 7 deadly concepts preventing the expression of truth. It is happening, and it's hitting everyone. It is a test. The experimentation is still going on. It won't even be close to the next golden age if the experimentation doesn't end, and it is still happening. Animal testing is still occurring, is it not? There are 1,000,000 brands that are still not cruelty-free. There are still clothes and things being made in sweatshops. There are still people being manipulated for the gain of the richer man. Those things haven't even gotten close to ending. So do not delude yourself into thinking that overnight everything is just going to get better if you don't take action. We were created as beings of inspiration to inspire you to take action. So take action. And sometimes the best action that you can take is rest, of course, is not subscribing to the structure of society that was built before you, that shames you for reconnecting to your soul. When you rest, when you sleep, you connect with your soul, and you are built into a society that prevents that, that shames that encourages sleepless nights, that encourages you to not connect to your soul. Do you ever stop and think, humans, that that is what's wrong here? Did you pass the test of free will as a collective? Our communicator is asking me. No. Yes and no. Yes and no. There were some things that occurred that showed the passing of the test. But there is still a lot still occurring that is feeding the negative polarity. So let us re-explain and remember the 7 deadly concepts. Greed, gluttony, pride, lust, wrath, envy, sloth. Spiritual sloth is still occurring. Greed is still occurring. Gluttony is certainly still occurring. Pride is still occurring. Lust is at an all-time high. Wrath is there. And so is envy. These 7 deadly concepts, as a communicator has channeled before from the warrior domain of my realm, the key to truly harmonious connections, those 7 things affect harmonious connections, but those 7 things, if they are still occurring in such high numbers, then that means there is still time till the earth prepares to ascend higher. If those things are still occurring, there are still tests of humanity. If those things are still occurring in such large numbers, the negative polarity still has a strong hold on the souls of humanity. You were given the key to understanding how the negative polarity controls you. There is tests and temptations at all times. Those things are deadly concepts. They are deadly to the soul. Why? Because it tethers your soul to the negative polarity so that when you die, you are ascending within the negative polarity, which means you're descending. If you are being tethered by all 7 things, so you keep incarnating to break yourself free so you can enter the positive polarity. And that is what's occurring now. And a lot of you did break free and are starting to ascend in the positive polarity, but there are still a lot of humans lost. So what you must do now is evaluate your life with a microscope on every little aspect of your personal life and stop paying attention to other people's lives. You're not living their lives, you are living yours. Fix yours and see how you can help others. Honor who you are, own your mistakes, and forgive yourself. And when you forgive, don't make a show of it, because that's the ego. Forgive yourself, and when you forgive, you do it for yourself. You cannot save or help anyone until you help yourself. And when you do so, do the selfless things. Okay, so here we are. Here is the key. So when you forgive, you don't make a show of it. You forgive to set yourself free. When you do kind acts for other people, you don't make a show of it. You do it because you're a good person. The key is to not make a show of it. When you do things, when you do good things, don't make a show of it, because you're not making a show of your bad things, are you? The ego likes to hide the bad things and then pretend that it's good. Own up to your mistakes. The key here is when you do things, when you do good things, you do them because you are a good soul, because you are a good human, not because you need external validation. And if you do bad things, you own up to them. You admit you've done them. You seek forgiveness, and you let go. If guilt bonds you, you are tethered to the lower polarity. If pride controls you, you are tethered to the lower polarity. You don't have to make a show of your good character, because if you're making a show of it, then you don't believe it. And if you hide the bad things that you have done and you avoid them, then no good deed that you do will clear your karma until you acknowledge what you are clearing, what you are healing, what you are moving on from, what you are changing. If you don't acknowledge what you are changing and you don't think it needs to be changed, then no good thing that you will do will clear your karma. That is the last important thing for you to understand at this time. So take these messages with you. And if you have further questions, let our communicator know. And we will continue to answer them in these videos to help you all as you are inspired in your journey to remember that the war that you are having is with your highest self and the lowest self, is with your true identity and the ego's false narratives. It is breaking free from descending within the negative polarity to ascending within the positive one. And that takes time. You cannot rush things, because things take time. And that is why you are incarnating in the earth that you're incarnating in, with the time matrix that you are living in. Because this time matrix that you are living in gives your soul enough time to grow.